remember hearing the Specials for the first time, and it's just one of those bands that you just kind of think that, yeah, this is the music that I was intended to listen to. Like, my ears were made for this stuff.
Part of the band's route to the Specials lies in their experience of growing up on the south coast. The area is now home to many asylum seekers and refugees, and towns like Worthing are having trouble adjusting.
Read in the paper, apparently it's the most xenophobic town in England, apparently. I don't know how they work this out.
Some kids I sort of used to hang out with and still do live in Brighton. A lot of them came over sort of when I was quite young from places like Zimbabwe and Ghana, and then when they came over they were sort of listening to Bob Marley and a lot of modern like ragga and dance floor stuff, and it was really bizarre that I sort of started listening to that, and then as I got a bit older I was sort of searching deeper into the like Trojan reggae, and then obviously like onto the two-tone.
The seaside needs us more than ever.
And former Special singer Terry Hall ended up appearing in an Ordinary Boys video because his son is one of their fans.
I think what they sing about is as relevant today as it always has been. I mean, I was born in 1982 and yeah, it was over with, but I still have been able to apply their lyrics so much to my life.
There is a line, there is a seam, it's like a seam of coal, a seam of diamonds that runs from the two-tone period into the present moment.
This ain't the down, it's the upbeat, make it complete. So what's the story? Guaranteed accuracy, enhanced CD.
The Streets record was very faithful to the spirit of two-tone. In fact, one of those songs actually has a trombone in it, which is very, very reminiscent of the trombone in Ghost Town, of the trombone of Rico Rodriguez in the Specials record. So I think there's a kind of homage there. There's an acknowledgement there of the sort of the moral centre as well as the creative innovations of that period that does still sort of circulate in the present.
A lot has changed in Britain since the days of two-tone. Though a black judge is still not a common sight.
My name is Judge Roughneck, and I will not tolerate no disobedience in my court.
At least in music, race is now pretty much invisible.
You get more Asian guys, you get more black guys, you get more white guys talking the lingo and dressing the same, and yeah, it's a bit better, a lot better.
In the music business now, it's more like it doesn't matter what colour you are. As long as you're good enough, you can get in. I've been hearing a lot of Indian music getting into the charts for the first time, you know, and to me that's changed as well, because you'd never have seen that 20 years ago.
In my new film, in Pride and Prejudice, one of the songs, I actually told the music director, the composer, that I wanted to do a ska song. At least one of my Bollywood songs had to have a ska influence. And in the film, it's No Life Without Wife, which starts with a very ska beat.
Lonely Mr. Coley from Los Angeles came to Punjab on one bent knee. He had a green card, new house, big cash, still made a wish with every fallen lash. That
ska influence remained part of me as a British artist, if you like.
This is the original of one of the ones that we do.
Two-tone lives on, not just in its political or musical legacy, but in the very personal effect it had on those individuals, black, brown or white, who experienced it as a turning point in their lives and in their relationship to British culture.
It shaped me kind of politically, musically, probably as a person as well, to a large extent. It made me feel kind of more confident, really, partly about feeling that the society I was in, particularly younger people, perhaps they did have something in common with me. Perhaps I was part of this.
What they made me realise was that it was okay to turn your back on what was being offered and go and seek out something else. And whether it was reading about them in the NME or buying their singles or watching them on the television or going to see them live, they were really, really inspiring.
It was probably one of the biggest sea changes that happened to me, and has happened to me in my life.
You know, for so long we've been sold on the idea that our future in terms of racial politics in Britain is defined by an American experience, by a US experience, that the US is our sort of racial destination. And that's either good, you know, we have a civil rights movement, or bad, we have race war, as prophesied by Enoch Powell. And what it seems to me that the specials show is that actually we don't have to be bound to a US future, that actually we can make our own future from our own history and from our own sort of post-industrial tempo of culture, that we can improvise and create and fold the history of things like two-tone, fold the history of things like Rock Against Racism back into that creation.
For me, for my coming of age, it really was the first time there was something around that I felt a part of, and it was a part of Britishness that I could definitely buy into.
After Ghost Town, Jerry recruited some new specials, and finally, in March 1984, released a song that would be remembered not for its musical complexity, but for the clarity of its message. It may seem odd now, but a lot of people hadn't even heard of Nelson Mandela until Jerry Dammers brought his plight to their attention.
As political as music gets, I think it was hugely influential, yes. And when I watched the news and saw people at an anti-apartheid rally in South Africa singing Free Nelson Mandela, obviously, you know, when that's happened, you know you've made a real impact.
Hi, my name's Terry and I'm at Bagdasman. Enjoy your day. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the swing. The years go by as quickly as you win. Enjoy yourself later than you think.
I'm very pleased, I think, that here we are, 25 years down the road, and enough good music was made that I think the idea of two-tone has become more real in people's minds and has become a bigger reality than the individual bands that made it up. I feel that, you know, Walt Jabsko, the little two-tone man, he kind of stands for something.
Can music really promote racial harmony? To join the debate, go to channel4.com/origination. Well, if you've got the cash, they've got your ticket. Next Monday at 11, meet Alan Slim, the Touts on tour. Next tonight, though, how a low-budget Bollywood film took India by storm in putting the fun in fundamental.